Hey everyone, welcome to Ms. Hollywood. My guest today is Paul Fisher. He is known for representing some of the biggest talent in modeling, including Naomi Campbell, Stephanie Seymour, Kimora Lee Simmons, and so many more. He's here with me today at Ms. Hollywood to talk about his show on the CW Remodeled, also his business, The Network, which represents models all around the country. Please welcome Paul Fisher. Thank you so much for joining me, Paul.
Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to be here. Hello, Miss Hollywood. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so excited to be talking to you. I'm a newfound fan of the show and everything that you're doing with the network.
Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. It's definitely a labor of love. I'm very, very, very passionate about what we're trying to accomplish here at the network.
Now, season one was a big hit on the CW. Let's talk about what the show is about. I know you say it's not a reality show. So, can you discuss kind of what the show is about, what the premise is?
Sure. My company, the network, is a company that's a community of modeling agencies all over the world, Miss Hollywood. We manage about 50 agencies in 50 different cities around the world. And the show basically takes a group of my agencies, 8 of my agencies, and we go in there, and there are agencies in small towns that aren't doing so well. So my job is to go in there and give them some pretty tough love, make their dreams come true, to kind of give them this tough love, beat them up a little bit, but with the consciousness of trying to make them a much more powerful agency so they can actually create the stars that they're discovering. And then we take one of their models every single episode, and in a very real way, we launch their careers. So you see kids in our show that literally that had digital pictures, just a couple of pictures, and a couple of weeks later, they're working for American Elle magazine or Andy Hilfiger or Tommy Hilfiger. It's a real docu-series, and we're really showing the art form of how we truly create stars.
But when I was watching it, I was like almost like extreme makeover model edition in a way that you really go in and you really try and transform, the agency, the people, and, like you said, make their dreams come true. But it's so much deeper than just modeling, to you, and you try and make that aware to the agencies as well.
Wow, you're giving me chills, because, and I thank you so much for feeling that and the show resonating with you, because that's what my intention was from the beginning when we decided to do this show. It is in the modeling industry, and yes, I'm trying to teach agencies to become great in their lives, not to be good at something, to actually become great at something. If you're an agent, you want to be an agent for one of two reasons. Either you want to make people famous or you want to make a lot of money. And those agencies in small towns, they're actually the agencies that are discovering the stars in the first place, but they're giving up their power. So I'm trying to teach these agencies, you can hang out and be good all you want to, for the rest of your life, be good. But why not try to be great? Why not taste and feel what it's like to actually create a star, to actually make somebody famous? Because if you actually could feel that, what it feels like, it's one of the most amazing feelings in the world. And so I get so passionate and so intense because I want these agencies that are a part of my network to feel what I have felt many, 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 many times.
You've worked with so many agencies, in the show and, first season, there was some agencies stories that sticks out to me. What was one of the experiences that stuck out to you last season?
There's episode 2. I did a remodel of an agency, one of my agencies in Rapid City, and it was like a modeling school. And then when I left there, literally the next day, they went back to being a modeling school. And it's the one agency that I wasn't able to get through to. And my communication skills sometimes aren't so great. Sometimes they suck. And so sometimes when I speak to people, it does resonate with them. I can find a way to get them to really, really hear and feel me. But that episode 2 was a tough one because I went in, I saw a bunch of young kids getting ripped off with false hopes, put in their mind that they'd be models, and they're only 5'2", and I wasn't really happy with what I saw there. So that was kind of an interesting.
And what's been the most difficult process, do you think, of the show for you?
Usually it takes me about a year to remodel an agency, and I was asked by the CW to do it in 3 days. And so, I had to tap into the old Paul Fisher. I had to show people a side of me that I'm not very proud of showing them that rage and that temper and that intense. I don't mind people seeing that I'm passionate and intense, but I had to speak to people in a way that I literally would go home at night and I would literally put my hands in my hands in my head and I'd start crying and speak to my spiritual teachers because I treated people that way, and I still feel the residue of that even till this day. And I'm literally praying every day that it goes away soon enough. But that was a very hard process for me personally, treating people the way I had to treat them, and really getting my point across in such a short period of time. And it brought up old feelings and old who I used to be.
Well, what do you try and teach the models then and people in your business? Do you try and, get across them? I know, you say over and over in the show, it's such a hard business and they continually, come at you about everything that's wrong with you. Do you try and help them?
Oh my God, yes. You know, it's one of the things that I'm the most proud of, I think. My kids have done Prada and they've done Calvin and they've done Versace, and the old Paul Fisher would have had a big party and even done drugs with the girls, literally. But now when my kids do these big huge campaigns, I say to the kid, that's great. That's really great. Now go feed the homeless. Now, who are you going to go hook up this weekend? Who are you going to help out this weekend? And I try to tell my kids this every single day. Give back until it's painful. Give back until you can't anymore. I think it's one of the most important messages that I give the kids. And the second message that that I learned through the Kabbalah Center teacher, the Rob and Karen, something that I preach to my kids every day: believe in you will see. If you believe that you can be on the cover of Vogue, if you believe that you can work for Victoria's Secrets, if you believe it with every fiber of your being, the universe will open up a door and actually make it happen. If you let no doubt enter your mind whatsoever, you can actually accomplish anything. And then the third thing I try to teach my kids, which I think is the most important thing: never desire anything for the self alone unless it's willing to share. Don't want to become a famous model because you want the money and you want fame and you want the boys and you want the girls. That's the wrong reason. You may get it. The world will just steal it right away from you. They'll just
Yeah, I mean, I learned at a very young age, you have to give back. And I mean, that's the way that the world goes. You're not living, you live each day to help somebody else. And, my grandma always used to say, right foot forward. You do the best every day that you possibly can to live your best life. And you don't live it, for yourself. You don't do things for your pure enjoyment just for you. So that's, the best thing is, I mean, success is one thing, but success by yourself is nothing. You want to be able to share that with your friends and with your family. And, money is not going to make you happy in the end if you don't have anyone that you can share it with.
And Miss Hollywood, that's why we need more people like you. And what I want to say to you is, people that watch our show, they may just think they're watching a show, but you've got, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for even doing a story about me and the show, and that just means and you may not like what I'm about to say, but I say it with every appreciation in my heart. You're a part of a movement. You're a part of our movement, and our movement is to clean up the modeling industry. Our movement is to create young role models who give back to the world. Our movement is to have young, beautiful women walk down the runway, not really super skinny women, so other young women are sticking their fingers down their throat because they don't look like those kids on the runway. So, we're trying to do something so important for the world and for our community. And by you participating and just believing in us and watching our show, you have no idea how appreciative we are, because it's not a television show. It's a movement that we're trying to accomplish, and we're really trying to save young kids' lives. And I know I'm not curing cancer or anything like that, but my young kids are what we call big vessels. Other young kids look up to my kids that are on the covers of major magazines that work for the biggest campaigns in the world. And so these kids can touch other young people's lives, and we're really trying to create some very, very special role models in the world.
Now, what can we expect in season 2? Are you guys taping that now? Are you done with that? When does it air?
Well, what they're doing is they're actually they've taken our 8. We did 6 episodes that we ran just now, and then Mr. Petz, who's the president of the CW, very 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 humbled to know this man. He decided to run all 8 episodes this summertime. So what they're doing is they have 2 extra episodes and the 6 that they just ran. So they're running all 8 episodes this summertime, and then we haven't heard yet if they want us to come back and shoot more episodes. So all we know is that they're going to run 8 episodes this summertime, which we're so excited about. We're actually planning a trip. Me, Joseph, and Olga, we're actually going to go across the country to meet the fans, do screenings with people in 24 cities. We're literally going on a road with a big, huge remodeled motorhome, and we're going to go across the country and meet the fans and promote the show and stuff like that, which I'm so darn excited about.
It's great to watch, someone who has a passion for what they do and try and get that across to everyone else because, that's what I'm all about. So I really enjoy, talking to you and watching the show and seeing all of that. So I thank you so much for talking to me today.
Well, thank you. And if I may just say one thing, kids ask me all over the world, if I want to be a model, how do I become a model? And the first thing I say is, first of all, don't run away from guys like me. Don't model. Stay in school. Don't even think about this business. Really, go into something else because this business is too hard. But if you do want to be a model, if you've ever thought about being a model, go to the networktalent.com. It's really informative of the really nuts and bolts of our business.
Hopefully, we'll be seeing more episodes coming soon, but definitely keep in touch and let me know what's going on with the bus tour. I'd love to come to one of the locations and hang out with you and talk to the fans.
Oh my God, I would dig it. We one of our assistants, Anna, just cut a track called Remodeled. It's our theme song, and she's going to be actually traveling with us, singing the song at different venues across the country. And Anna is in the show. She's one of my assistants. She's actually appears in a bunch of the episodes, and she just cut this amazing track, and it's called Remodeled, and people are going to be able to hear it on the iTunes soon. But she'll be traveling with us to sing the song on the tour. It's going to be really, really cool. And I thank you for watching our show.